BIP Joe Amabile still woos Serena Pitt after honeymoon phase. Joe Amabile and Serena Pitt continue to be a fan-favorite couple from Bachelor in Paradise. The two fell in love on the show and fans have loved following their story since. They got married in 2022 at a simple courthouse ceremony. Their formal wedding with friends and family wasn't until 2023. Now they are sharing that even though they are past the honeymoon phase, Joe still continues to woo Serena and make her feel special. What did the couple have to say? Keep reading to find out more. Joe Amabile still surprises his wife Serena Pitt. Bachelor in Paradise couple Joe Amabile and Serena Pitt continue to be fan favorites. Despite their 11-year age gap, the couple has a great marriage. They spoke with People recently and shared how things are going between them. One huge thing is that Joe continues to be romantic and woo his wife with surprises. Serena said, "There's so many things about him that I thought may die off after the honeymoon stage. Joe still just continues to surprise me with little gifts and thoughtful gestures, and that really is who he is, and I love that." As for his take on it and what Serena does, he jokes she steals the blankets every night. They also talked about having their 2 weddings and how sometimes having 2 anniversaries can be hard to keep up with. However, they make it work and joke some of the tough things are from meeting on reality television. How they will celebrate the holidays. Bachelor in Paradise couple Joe Amabile and Serena Pitt have no huge plans for the holiday season other than to enjoy it. Serena noted that her husband is obsessed with Christmas. He even listens to Christmas music all year long. She said all year long she also receives Christmas reels from him on social media. They spent time with her family in October in Canada and then celebrated Thanksgiving with his family in the States. After Christmas, the couple plans to go to Costa Rica. Both agree that they have a chill marriage and it's great. They have no complaints and love their life. Joe and Serena love time with just the 2 of them. So far the couple has not shared when they plan on starting a family. For now they are going to focus on enjoying the holidays together and continuing to live their laid-back life. The Chicago skyline glittered against the inky night and Joe Amabile, better known to Bachelor in Paradise fans as Grocery Store Joe, stood in his kitchen, slicing avocados with a precision that came from years of running a family grocery store. Across the counter, Serena Pitt scrolled through her phone, her face illuminated by the soft glow of the screen. They had been married for just over a year, and while the honeymoon phase had technically passed, their relationship was anything but ordinary. Joe wasn't just any reality TV star, he was a man who loved fiercely, laughed loudly, and cooked passionately. And Serena? She was his perfect complement, a sharp-witted, charming, and grounded woman who had captured his heart under the Mexican sun on the sandy beaches of paradise. But tonight, Joe was on a mission, to remind Serena that their love was still as vibrant as the day they said, "I do." The subtle art of wooing, it started with the avocados. Joe knew Serena's love for guacamole ran deep, almost as deep as their shared affinity for cozy nights in. As he worked on their dinner, a carefully planned taco night, he kept stealing glances at her, the kind of glances that spoke volumes. "What are you smirking about, Joe?" Serena asked, raising an eyebrow but unable to hide her grin. "Just thinking how lucky I am," Joe replied smoothly, setting down the knife to wrap his arms around her. He kissed the top of her head, inhaling the scent of her lavender shampoo. "How many guys get to marry their dream girl and make guac for her on a random Tuesday night?" Serena laughed, leaning into him. "Flattery will get you everywhere." "That's the plan," Joe quipped, spinning her around for an impromptu dance. Their laughter echoed through the apartment as they swayed to the music only they could hear. It was moments like these that Joe lived for, small, everyday reminders that love wasn't just grand gestures, but also the quiet joy of simply being together. Beyond the glamour. Post-Paradise, Joe and Serena had faced their share of skeptics. The world of reality TV romance was infamous for its fleeting nature, and many doubted whether their relationship could withstand the pressures of real life. But Joe had a secret weapon: his unwavering commitment to wooing Serena even after the cameras stopped rolling. While Serena had embraced Chicago's quirks and charms, it was still far from her native Toronto. Joe had made it his mission to make the transition seamless, planning weekend trips to explore her favorite Canadian dishes and hosting dinner parties with friends who quickly became their chosen family. One night, over poutine and a bottle of red wine, Serena confessed, "You make it easy to miss home less." Joe grinned. Good, because you're stuck with me. Their friends laughed, but Serena knew Joe meant every word. He wasn't the grand romantic type in the stereotypical sense, but his love showed in the little things. Learning her favorite songs on guitar, surprising her with her favorite snacks, and keeping her feet warm with his own under the blanket during movie nights. Rekindling the spark. As the taco night wrapped up, Joe brought out his next surprise, a scrapbook he had been secretly working on for months. "What's this?" Serena asked, her eyes lighting up as she opened the leather-bound book. Well, I'm not gonna call it art, but it's a collection of our favorite moments," Joe said, scratching the back of his neck sheepishly. Page by page, Serena saw photos from Paradise, their wedding day, their trips to Italy and Napa Valley, and candid shots from lazy Sundays at home. There were notes Joe had scribbled, ticket stubs from movies and concerts, and even dried petals from the bouquet she had held during their wedding. "Joe, this is..." Her voice cracked, tears threatening to spill. "Cheesy," Joe offered. "Perfect," she corrected, pulling him into a tight hug. He kissed her forehead. "I just wanted you to know that even though the honeymoon phase is over, the adventure isn't." Facing the future. Their life wasn't without challenges. Between juggling careers, Joe's food ventures, and Serena's media opportunities, they often had to navigate busy schedules and unexpected hurdles. But they approached every challenge as a team, with Joe's humor balancing Serena's practicality. One particularly stressful day, when work had piled up for both of them, Joe had walked into the room wearing an apron that read "Best Husband Ever" and holding a plate of Serena's favorite cookies. "I know it's been a rough day," he said, "but I think we can both agree cookies make everything better." Serena had laughed so hard she nearly spilled her tea. It was these moments that reminded her why she had fallen in love with Joe, not just for his kindness, but for his ability to make even the toughest days a little brighter. Love in the everyday months turned into years, and their love story continued to evolve. They celebrated anniversaries, supported each other through highs and lows, and built a life rooted in mutual respect and joy. Joe never stopped wooing Serena, not because he had to, but because he genuinely wanted to. Whether it was planning a surprise date night at a rooftop garden, sending her sweet texts during work, or simply holding her hand while they walked along Lake Michigan, Joe proved that love didn't have to fizzle out after the honeymoon phase. If anything, it grew stronger with time. For Joe and Serena, Paradise wasn't just a show. It was the beginning of a lifetime of adventures, laughter, and unwavering love. And as Serena flipped through their scrapbook one more time, she realized that while their story started with a rose, it had blossomed into something far more beautiful than she could have ever imagined. In the end, it wasn't about the grand gestures or the picture-perfect moments. It was about the man who still looked at her like she was the only woman in the world, and the love that felt as fresh as the guacamole Joe made on their random Tuesday night. And that, Serena thought, was the real magic of their happily ever after.